Hey guys, all right, today we're going to learn how to do some watercolor techniques. So to get started, let's talk about our supplies and what you need and where you should place it. So first up, you need to have your watercolors out. If they're not new watercolors, if they're old, then you need to make sure you clean out the tray. And what you can do for that is just take a wet paper towel and wipe them out. Okay, they'll be a little stained, but just make sure they're pretty clean. Then the next two things you need are going to be 1 to 2 paintbrushes. If you only have one paintbrush, that's fine. But if you have more than one, great, grab them. Okay, I like to use like a flat brush. That's what we call this one, and then this is called a round brush. But again, if you don't have these and you just have a paintbrush, that's fine as well. Also, you definitely need water, a little cup of water. You don't have to have a lot. I just did like a half cup. And then paper towels, grab a couple so you can dry your brush off and clean it. And then just like a piece of scratch paper so you can test out colors as you go along. The other thing you're going to need today is a piece of white paper. Okay. So when you get your white paper, you need to pause the video and set it up like this. We're going to be painting in these empty areas. We're going to learn 6 techniques today. So first you're going to start with tints, and then we're going to move on to shades, blend, wet on wet, bold, and splatter. Okay. So this is what you'll be taking a picture of when you are all done. So you need to make sure that, you take this part seriously. This is a grade. This demonstrates to us that you have practiced the techniques and that you know what to do for our first watercolor project coming up. All right, so let's begin. All right, so guys, we're going to start with tints first. And for this, I'm going to grab my round brush, my flat brush. I'm going to get some water, get it wet, and then you can pick any color you want. And for this, what you want to do is you want to, what you maybe cannot see here is I'm dipping my brush in the water and I'm grabbing a lot of water and I'm going to place it out here in my tray. So I'm just going back and forth. I'm putting some water down. So if you remember from the other day, tints are lighter versions of a color, and so we can use water to make various tints of a pure color. All right, so I've got some water here, and now I'm just going to pick a color. We'll pick blue, that's fine. So for this, I'm just going to take the tip of my brush and grab just a little bit of blue off the surface. Okay, because I'm going to start out pretty light, and then I'm going to swish it around. Maybe grab just a little bit more. I want a very, very light blue. Okay, so you don't need to grab a lot of paint. You just get just a little bit on the tip of the brush, drop it in, and you're ready to go. So we're gonna make a couple of different tints here of blue. So we're gonna start with the lightest tint. And so I'm just gonna sweep it across and just have fun with it. So it's really light. Now you can barely see it. That's okay. All right, so I just made like a little wavy line there. Okay, then I'm gonna go back to my blue paint. I'm gonna grab a little more paint, drop it back in the water. So now it's getting a little darker. Okay, and then right below it, I'm gonna add another one. My brush is just a little wet, so I'm gonna blend that out real quick. So on that one, it goes a little bit darker. Okay. Dry my brush off a little bit. Grab some more paint. And this time I'm gonna go a little bit more bold. So I'm getting a little more paint. Maybe test it out this time. Yep, need to go a little darker. Okay, that's pretty good. So then right underneath it, go a little darker. And then let's go for one more tint of that color. So this time I'm grabbing a lot of paint on my brush, okay, and just a little bit of water. Test that out. Oh yeah, that's pretty bold now. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back under it. And there you go. So you can see how we have different tints of blue, okay? All right, for shades, I'm gonna pick a new color. I cleaned off my brush. Oh, let's go with, let's go with green. Okay, so I'm gonna start by, move this over. I'm gonna start by just getting some pure green. My brush is wet. I'm gonna grab some green straight out of the palette. Okay, and then I'm gonna do another wavy line. So this is my pure green. Okay, and I'm gonna go a little bit darker. So I'm gonna try and get some more paint here on my brush. Underneath that, it's a little darker, it's a little more bold. Okay, but now I want to take that even darker, okay? So to do that, I'm gonna grab some paint, put it out here. I'm gonna grab just a little bit of water, swish it around, not a lot. Lots of paint, little water. Lots of paint, just a little bit of water. Okay, now to create a darker shade, I can choose a darker color. I can just choose black. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add a little bit of black to this. Okay, got a little black on my paint here. Add it, and that's just gonna darken it. You don't wanna grab a lot of black, just a little bit, because we still want it to look green, greenish, okay? So now I'm getting more of that kind of forest green. Okay, so that's how you can create darker greens. And then let's go for one more. So a lot of black, a little bit of green. So I added more black to that. Okay, and so now I have my green and then shades of it below. Okay, so that covers tints and shades. Tints and shades are going to be something that you might use on your next project. Okay, blend. So for this one, I'm going to switch to a new brush. Let's get this round brush going here. Okay, so for this, for blend, I want you to pick two colors that are similar to each other. So for example, I might pick orange and red. Okay, so orange and red right here, they're similar to each other. And I'm gonna go ahead and do my orange first. My brush is wet, grabbing some orange right here. Okay, and I'm just gonna make a blob. Doesn't have to be pretty. Okay, and you know what, I'm gonna keep that orange on my brush, and I'm just gonna go straight into the red, get a little bit more water. Okay, and get some red here. Put it right beside it. Okay. And now I want to blend the two together. So to do that, I'm going to get just a little bit of water on my brush, and slowly, I'm just gonna, in the middle, I'm gonna kind of stir it up like a spoon. If my brush was a spoon, I'm gonna try and stir them together right in the middle. The idea is to make them kind of fade and blend into each other. So I'm bringing a little bit of that orange over here, a little red over here. And there you have it. And they're blended in the middle, okay? All right.